Come on, is that what this is all about? I'm so angry at you right now, Deb said. Nothing happened with Karen, okay? Mark said. I can't believe you're actually accusing me of something. It's so ridiculous. Karen was a neighbor, a friend who'd also been at the learners' dinner party. You were holding her hand, Deb said. I was not holding her hand, Mark said. You were holding her hand, Deb said. Mark let out an annoyed breath, shaking his head. I was not holding her hand, okay? Maybe we held hands for like a second, but it was longer than a second. A few seconds, whatever, but it was totally innocent, okay? We were talking, just talking, and she was upset, you know? She's been having some financial trouble. That investment advisor fucked her over, and I was going to put her in touch with my guy. Our guy, Dave Anderson. That was who we were talking about. Dave Anderson. Anyway, she was upset, and I was talking to her about it, giving her some advice. That's it, okay? And yeah, maybe at one point I may have held her hand, just like in a friendly, supportive way. But in a friendly, supportive way, Deb said. There an echo in here? Mark asked. Look, I know what I saw, okay? So stop denying it. You were having a moment. What? It was what it was. It was a conversation about mutual funds. Mark made a sharp turn too fast around a bend. He had to be careful. There was a deer crossing around here, wasn't there? Then he slowed a little and said, I can't believe I'm even talking about this right now. Karen's a friend, that's it. Friends don't flirt the way you two always flirt. What? Can you watch the road? I can't believe... I was helping her with a situation, okay? I wasn't flirting with her. You want to talk flirting? How about you and Tom? That was the way. Put it on her. What about me and... You flirt with him all the time. When do I ever? I even saw you hugging him tonight. After a pause, Deb said, You mean when I was saying good night? You were hugging tightly, Mark said, glad they weren't talking about him and Karen. Oh, come on, that's... Yeah, ridiculous, I know. But what if I tried to make a big production out of it? What if I was like, how could you flirt with Tom? You were having a moment. How could you do that? Don't try to deny what you did, Deb said. I'm not... Raising her voice to smother his, Deb said, I didn't go off with him to a corner of the backyard, okay? If I did, what would you think? Would you think that was normal? Would you think, oh, Tom and Deb are just good friends. That's why they slipped away together to be alone. Are you drunk? Mark asked. What? Deb sounded shocked, but maybe she was just pretending. No, I am not drunk. You sure? 'Cause you're acting drunk right now. I had a couple of drinks. You had more than a couple. Look, I told you how I feel about you and that woman, but you don't seem to care. You just rub it in my face. Karen is our friend. Since when is she that woman? Since she started trying to steal my husband. Oh, for God's sake, Deb, will you stop it? I was just holding hands. So you admit it. For a couple of seconds, for God's sake. It was more than a hand-holding, okay? It's everything between you two. It's the way you look at each other. At dinner, it was so obvious. And when you were telling that joke and Karen got up to go to the kitchen, you waited. You waited till she came back to finish it. It's called being polite, Mark said. You wouldn't have waited if I left the table or if anybody else left it. It was because of her. You waited because of her. No, I waited because she hadn't heard the joke yet. You had, and she was interested, so I... Listen to you. Just listen to you. Attacking me. Launching into me because I was polite when I was telling a joke, like I committed some kind of crime or something. You know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Deb said. You won't stop. You just keep doing it, because you want to do it, because you... I don't know. You want to get a reaction from me or something, and you make it so obvious. I don't think you get how embarrassing this is to me. What do you mean? Mark looked away from the road at Deb for a second. Somebody said something? No, nobody said anything. Nobody had to say anything, Deb said. But everybody saw it. Everybody knows. And I'm sure they suspect something. Suspect what? Mark raised his voice. This is fucking ridiculous. Nothing is going on with me and Karen.